Hello, I'm Jarita Holbrook. I'm an astrophysicist, an anthropologist, and a documentary filmmaker. I'm currently a Marie Curie Fellow at the University of Edinburgh in Science, Technology, and Innovation Studies.
Hello, I'm Jasmina Davé and I'm here interviewing
Jarita Holbrook!
I was just wondering about your film, and how many films have you released?
3. I released 3.
And are all of them about diversity?
Yes, they're pretty much about diversity. I started making documentary films to address the issue of the lack of diversity in astrophysics. My projects tend to highlight the lives, the research, and the scientific results of diverse astrophysicists. However, I have done a lot of interviews and other documentary shorts on other types of scientists, including students that are getting their science degrees now. So can I give a description of each one of the films?
Sure.
Okay, so Hubble's Diverse Universe was definitely about diversity because the whole goal of the film was to highlight diverse astrophysicists in the United States in their relationship with the Hubble Space Telescope. Okay, so that one, was meant to go out to a, high school and above audience to inspire kids of all ages to consider careers in the astronomy or connected to astronomy and NASA careers as well. So that one's clearly about diversity. Okay, the second film is called Black Suns, an astrophysics adventure, and that also focuses on diversity. Almost everybody who has a speaking role in the film is black. And they're all astrophysicists or students of astrophysics, and we all go to Australia and we observe this total solar eclipse. And I wanted to do something different. I wanted to not just have a talking head documentary like this one, but instead have something that was action, like an action movie, but have it be real life. And there's nothing like that time pressure of having to get those observations through the very few minutes of a total solar eclipse. So the tension was already built in. So it was a lot of fun. It was very tense. It was very expensive. That was the most expensive film I've ever done. But I'm very proud of it. It's an award-winning film. Hubble's Diverse Universe is also an award-winning film. Solar eclipses are these amazing natural phenomena that first of all occur rarely, and secondly, they occur all over the world. In 2012, there are 2 occurring. One in Tokyo, Japan, and the other in Cairns, Australia.
Neither one of my parents graduated high school. I felt like I just wasn't smart enough.
I'm trying to understand various aspects of how the sun's atmosphere works.
A lot is riding on 2012. We hope to get some good data.
Alphonse is testing equipment that he's going to use for the total solar eclipse in Australia.
When you have a 5-minute total eclipse, it's not a good time to find out that you're having a problem.
Getting ready for first contact, a little bit nervous.
Oh man, is that a partial cloud?
What made you start doing documentaries?
I realized that with the work that I was doing, I was reaching a very small audience, and that if I made a film, then it would be distributed much wider than any article that I could write. So unless you have an article that gets into the New York Times or some really big newspaper, it doesn't really reach all levels of various communities. But with a film, it really travels in a way that writing an article just doesn't. So that's why I started making films as opposed to keeping writing articles, because films have it can reach high school kids and elementary school kids, and yes, the people that I want to reach and inspire, but also to change the attitudes of other astronomers and people who are in administration, deciding on grants, and to think that it's not so odd to have a person of color being an astrophysicist. So they need to see those films too.
Galaxies are made up of stars. and I can show sort of a standard ground-based picture. Say, look at this fuzzy blob. That's a galaxy, and now let's look at an HST image of it. Look at all those stars.
Spectrograph actually was one of the original instruments on the Hubble Space Telescope when it was first launched. Since the team was involved in an instrument that was actually a spectrograph and not an imager, something that didn't take pretty pictures, it was really important to get the pretty pictures, but also to somehow relate, you know, the squiggly lines that you get from a spectrograph to what those lines are telling you about the images that you're seeing.
What I did was do a galaxy redshift survey that was directed toward Lyman alpha absorbers to try and understand where the absorbers were coming from. That was all Hubble money.
The farther away an object is, the faster it seems to be moving away from us. The faster it's moving, the more of the stretching of the light you see, the higher the redshift. Okay? And so that redshift is a measurement of how far away the object is. And this is what Hubble discovered. This is why he has a telescope named after him.
It captures the public imagination. And when I'm talking about things, it just, you know, look, beautiful picture. You get your oohs and ahs, and they're hooked.
For all the great things Hubble has done, certainly even scientifically, the fact that we can now look at other galaxies and see all of those stars and tell the history of the galaxy because we can resolve all of those stars, that's a powerful message.
And are the films simple enough for younger viewers to understand?
I think that every one of the films has an element that somebody who's young can grasp onto. If you remember when you were in kindergarten, I showed Hubble's Diverse Universe, and we had a good conversation with 5-year-olds about the content. They remembered things about star formation and pulsars, and yeah, so you can grasp onto some of these concepts. They may not understand all the social aspects of it, but some of the physical aspects I think they really could pick up on.
And do you think that your films are aimed at more than just the BAME Society?
The what?
Diversity. Diverse. Like, diverse people are called BAME. B-A-M-E.
Oh, B-A-M-E here in the United Kingdom.
Yeah.
Yes, I think that what always surprised me is that, like, non-diverse astrophysicists love my work too. But they do. They love it because it's all promoting astronomy. We're all together in promoting astronomy. When I was a professor in South Africa, I took on a project focusing on the square kilometer array. And then there's my other film, which is the one that's like, is it about diversity or is it not about diversity? So that one is SKA is greater than equal to Kourou radio telescope. Yes, I made an equation out of the name because I'm nerdy like that.
Practical nerd.
Practical nerd.
I would really applied science or something.
The title of the film, SKA is greater than equal to Kourou radio telescope. I was trying to capture the fact that the people of Carnarvon are proud of being the town closest to the square kilometer array, and in some ways they feel a sense of ownership with the square kilometer array. However, it's larger than just the Kourou. So it's not just a Kourou radio telescope, it's an international telescope. Thus, the square kilometer array is greater than their aspirations of it being a Kourou radio telescope. And that's how I got the title of the film.
So do you believe that your films are influencing a huge amount of diversity diverse people?
I don't know, but I'd like to think so. I'd like to think that this isn't all just in vain. Hubble's Diverse Universe is available as a DVD on Amazon.com. Black Suns is available for streaming only through Vimeo. Do you want more? We have our family science travel show, The Science Tourist, freely available on YouTube, but please follow us also on Instagram and Twitter. We have 4 episodes for free, and other episodes are for our followers.